Hey yo, what's poppin' everybody? It's your boy Bull Deep here, aka Zip. Today's September 29th, and alongside me, I got the homie, I got the brody. You already know who I got with me. I got Andrew, aka Drew Dolly with me.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Drew Dolly, aka the number one homie. If you do not know me, aka Dr. Boofus Smirts, pass it now, don't pass it later. Pass me that gasinator, yeah. Yo, we got a very, very special guest today. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jenna Delino. My @ is Jenna the Creator. I'm a graphic designer, and I go to the Fashion Institute of Technology, but I don't do fashion. So.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Now, since he does go to the Fashion Institute of can't speak English. Since he does go to the Fashion Institute of Technology, there's some questions that we want to ask you. And one of them is, I heard there's a huge stigma about like how people got to be dressed up and how they got to be to the T. They always got to be in the newest shit. They always got to be rocking something hard. You can't go to school in sweats and stuff.
You got to come correct or not come at all.
You cannot come in a Yankees t-shirt and leggings, that's for sure.
No, but tell us about that. Like, what is that pressure like?
Oh, like when you go, especially when you go into the fashion building and you have this on, you would get some dirty looks. You'd get some death stares. People got the Fendi on.
Okay.
They got the Prada.
Ooh.
Like, they really go all out.
Okay, I see it. So that's crazy, bro. I can't imagine not just going to class in shorts sometimes and sweats. You know, just tired one day.
I go to community college. I go to community college.
Bro, that's even crazier, yo. No, but since you are a graphic designer, how is that different from the fashion designers there? What is the mentality between you guys? Is it beef? You guys look at each other like, what are you? It's like, what is that?
Graphic design.
I feel like a lot of people don't like the fashion people because, like, they're stereotypically stuck up. Because it's like that thing where if you're not wearing
like
something
that
cool,
perception.
like, I don't know, like, I'm in a building where it's artists and illustrators and stuff like that, so it's more cool in my building.
Yeah.
But
It's more of a chill vibe.
in the C building, oh my god.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting because if you go to St. John's, for example, like there's every major's chilling together with whatever they're doing. Say computer science. A buddy of mine is a finance major. Another buddy's like a math major. And another, they'd be doing anything. And sure, at St. John's is also fashion studies. I'm sure it's completely different from the Fashion Institute of Technology. But being in Manhattan, what's the vibe of that like? Since you are from Queens, what is it like migrating to Manhattan and like as a college student?
Yeah, so it's definitely different because where I am, I'm in Bayside in Queens, so it's like more suburban, I guess.
Okay.
And so then when I'm in Manhattan, it's like a lot different. But it's really cool being just in the middle of the city and just being able to do whatever I want and being there already. And there's a lot of cool people at FIT. Like, they are stuck up, like, fashion majors stereotypically. But there are a lot of nice people and people that will work with you and collaborate. So it's pretty cool.
For the people, tell them like where in particular in the city is FIC?
So it's in Chelsea. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it's right by Penn. And then I dorm in Hudson Yards.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Manhattan.
I'm by the Vessel and Neiman Marcus.
Yeah,
okay.
The giant shawarma.
I've never been. You've been, right?
I've been. Yo, it's like going there, talking just about design and, art. One of, a big facet of art that people forget about is architecture.
For sure.
And it's, you look at the Vessel, it's crazy because it's like when I went there, it's like I knew that like, this is something in the future that people are gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
And that this is gonna become like this is gonna be like a real like landmark. And just seeing it like pop up out of nowhere and just like witnessing it within like the first week of it, like it was like the second day of it opening, and just being there and witnessing it, I was like, damn.
For the people who don't know, like I've never been, but I've seen pictures. For the people who don't know, explain to them what it's like on the inside, what it's like on the outside. It's like a bronze color on the outside.
So I didn't go on the inside because at that point they had stopped admitting people, and it is it's a weird structure. So I'm gonna try my best to describe it. But imagine like. So you have.
Oh, it's like those like the white things covering the fruits. You know what I'm saying?
Almost, yeah.
It's like a honeycomb.
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like all like bronze, and it's like almost entirely. It is like entirely reflective. So, and I feel like I don't know. It might just be me being a little artsy, little English boy, but I feel like there's so much meaning to just get out of just the design itself. It's so
believe it.
like it says a lot, and it's so gaudy. Like it fits in because right where it is, Hudson Yards. It's right next to this giant shopping mall. Right inside of it, there's literally a little gallery called Avant Garde, as if they couldn't be more in your face about it.
Yeah.
And just there's a Protect store. There's just all of these expensive stores, and it just kind of goes along with just that it exudes Manhattan.
I feel you.
You get what I mean? Like, you compare other boroughs, like, they all have their own vibes. But you go to Manhattan, you know what you're going to see. You're going to see, modern design. You're going to see excess of wealth, of living, of life. And, when you go to the Vessel and just that area of Hudson Yards, it exudes that, for real.
Do you know if it was a government-sponsored project?
I believe it was by the city. And I'm gonna open your eyes real quick. I heard that, if I gotta talk spicy, I heard that they took funds from like
Public schools?
public schools in the ghettos
Yeah.
to fund the Vessel. So that's why my first time going to the Vessel was the last time. 'Cause
Bro,
we
public
not
schools in
supporting
Harlem, not just Harlem, just Manhattan in general, they're actually pretty dope. Like,
that. No, they all good. They all good.
No, but that's messed up. But in a way, I remember when I used to go to public school, I only went to like third grade. But I remember one of the teachers talking. This is like one of the few things that I actually like remember from public school. It was like her talking about how if they don't use all the funds for that year, they're not gonna roll over.
Yeah.
So
So they need to.
So in a way, I kind of understand, but maybe they should allow that rollover or just put it towards other public schools, especially now because there's so many like more kids than it was when I was in public school. I was like in 2005, 2006. So that's crazy. And I also went to like kindergarten to third grade. That's babies. So not a lot of kids at all. But what's on the inside? I just see a whole bunch of stairs and pictures.
I mean, it's literally that.
It's
It's
just
just stairs and bunch of fucking mirrors.
Oh, fair enough.
That's like literally all it is. But it's gigantic. Like, for real, it's monumental. It is very large, and it's both breathtaking and eye-catching at the same time. Like, it's actually a
Understandable.
really dope structure.
Is it considered a landmark?
I wouldn't say right now.
Because it has that time period you have to wait, but since it is a city-sponsored project, I didn't know if it was considered a landmark or not.
I'd say, well, they're definitely pushing for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
Even like I saw, it's crazy because I was watching a video of an interview of Prime Minister Boris, and in the background, I see the Vessel. I'm like, I was right there.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, that's the crazy thing about landmarks. You could have like these pieces that mean so much to the society around it, to the civilizations and the people in the neighborhoods around it. Like I remember in a class I was learning about street art and the graffiti and all that. And in LIC there was this big old hotel that had like a whole side of their wall spray painted by different artists all over the world. And then it's like a couple years ago they just tore that apart.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but it was something that was so beautiful, and just like if I passed it on the 7 train, that would have been dope. But now that it's down, it's not considered a landmark. It was sad, and it's like seeing what people worked on for so many years, to see all that work and all that love that was given towards it gone. It's just heartbreaking. You know, a lot of people don't understand art, and a lot of people just say, "Oh, it's just a picture. It's just." They could always make a new one, but it's really not. If it's there on like a cement wall, it should be there, unless it's like graffiti. You know, there's 2 different types of graffiti. There's vandalism and just actual like graffiti that you get permission and make it look good and in your own ways.
I mean, yeah, like the only difference between graffiti and street art, I'd say, is like permission.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know.
What about gang logos and it's like your tags? Do you think you consider tags graffiti or just vandalism?
I would say it's all graffiti. I mean, because it all comes from even things like gang-related tagging or just, bombing. It's all, like, it comes from a certain place, and I understand that. Like I've never been out here holding a blicky, walking around shooting dudes in their faces or whatever. But, like, I've been around that environment, and I understand where it comes from. And, we, especially, like, in minority communities, there's very little emphasis on self-expression and just art. So any way that it manifests itself is dope, even if it's something negative like that. Like even with like you look at, we're talking music, more art, You look at like gang-related music, very prevalent in rap. It's not the most positive thing. It's not the best thing for the communities for sure. But it comes from a certain place, and it represents a voice that needs to be heard, a voice that yearns to be heard.
Mr. Four Elements over here. Graffiti and like street art and graffiti is a part of the Four Elements, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is foundational to hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
Because hip hop is more than just rapping. Rapping is a physical act. Rapping is, you know, using your mouth to, you know, just spit poetry and spit your science. But beyond that, hip hop as a whole, nowadays is different. Like, this is super hip hop, New Yorker, like back in the day, whatever, boom bap, you know, Rakim type of stuff. But back in the day, you know, it's like hip hop, you got rapping, you got
breakdancing,
MC, well, yeah, you got breakdancing. The Four Elements is, you know, being the MC and spitting. Then there's being the DJ, being able to spin the tracks. Then you got graffiti, and then you got breakdancing.
Yeah.
All those four things is what makes up hip hop. And just art in general. That's why I feel like, that's what gets me mad, because I don't know if you saw recently, I believe, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
He was talking about how hip hop is not real music.
Oh, nah.
And that makes me really mad, because I can't believe that we are in the year 2020. Hip hop at this point is now around 50 years old.
But you also got to remember, Ben Shapiro is a person who feeds off.
No, he's a talking head for sure.
Yeah, he feeds off of making arguments on the other side.
But it's even if while I fully understand that he plays his role, that's why I never get too mad at none of these talking heads I see on TV or whatever, because I understand they are playing their job.
Yeah, for sure.
They're actors.
Yeah,
they're playing their character. I
really
get
are.
it. I watch wrestling growing up. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
He's just trying to RKO with people out of nowhere, bro. That's
basically that's the finisher, like hip hop.
Exactly.
That's the signature. Then he's gonna hit him with the people's elbow, like black people. Bad.
But if somebody's not acknowledging hip hop as how it's definitely the biggest platform out there right now in music, because so many things can fall under the whole umbrella of hip hop. So that's crazy. If he doesn't understand what hip hop is and what the power of hip hop is, he's just ignorant, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, you know, while I understand that he's just saying that for, you know, the views and to play his part, there are a lot of people who do carry that mindset, and it's baffling because around 25 years ago, Jay-Z and them, they skipped out on the Grammys because they weren't even airing the hip hop part.
Yeah.
They would do it in private alone, like without the cameras on. So they were protesting. You look nowadays, hip hop has gone beyond just being some sort of
most of the performances at all these shows are from hip hop.
Hip hop is now pop music. It is popular music.
It really is.
Now
it
rap
is.
pop.
For sure.
It defines this. It defines the musical voice of this generation. And it's crazy the fact that there are people who it's not even that they refuse to accept that, but they're just so blind to it. And it's just like, what are you doing? It's like the same people who said that back in the day when Elvis was gyrating his hips, even though it's, you know, we canceling Elvis because he is the original cultural appropriator.
Yeah. He died on a toilet.
Yeah, where he sorry.
He died on a toilet.
But it's like, you know, people back then were talking about how, this is not gonna last, it's gonna last. You just need to I understand that, you know, coming from an older generation, that you might not have the perception of, like, you just hear it's like, what is this noise?
Let me ask you, what did Ben Shapiro, if he did say anything, what did he consider music? What did he consider real music? If he considered hip hop was real popular music, do you know?
I didn't see particularly, but I would definitely bet he'd be listening to probably some Nickelback.
I feel that. Some heavy metal.
Yo, there's
I can imagine.
You know what? There's some really ill heavy metal.
Honestly, I've not listened to much, so I can't really say anything on that part.
There's some good. Yo, I fancy myself some white people music.
Okay.
And there, Sublime.
That's rare. That's rare for you.
Nah, well, it's certain type. Well, there's even some corny, you know, like Stacy's mom.
Yes.
She got it going on.
They play it all the time at our job. But nah, that's my
Mine
song.
too.
That's
Yeah.
You know it. Where you working
Yeah.
at?
Passo's. It's a nice
Oh,
one
yeah?
spot. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what's up.
Bro, that's valid. No, but there's something like hip hop for me. Like a lot of hip hop music, that's what got me into music. Before I just heard music as like white noise, just to like blank out the things. But it's like One Man Can Change the World. That's my favorite song. That's by Big Sean. Yeah, and it's like Yeah, that's the song that really got me into feeling the music instead of just listening to it. You know, that's my favorite song. That's what I like. I love, bro. It's such a B song. And sure, it's not the most popular song on this album, on Dark. But I ain't be listening to Dark Sky Paradise like that ever. I haven't listened to the whole thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I listened to it. But that song randomly coming up in like a radio or something, I was like, yo, this is insane. This is crazy. I want to listen to this more. And then I started listening to the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, it just hits different, bro.
I remember when I fell in love with hip hop, man. It's I'd always been listening to hip hop for the most part. I mean, from Queens, New York, Queens Village, Elmont, whatever. You like, I grew up around this, but like you said, from growing up for the first like 7, 8 years of my life, it was just like noise, or it's just like in the background. Or it's what like the older kids were listening. So
Did your parents ever deter you from listening to it?
They never deterred me, but they personally weren't. Like they didn't like all the cussing. Ironic because they cuss like crazy, but you know, and it wasn't really with that. But they had no like issue with it because like my father, like he loved like rock and like a lot of that rebellious music. You know, back in like the 70s and 80s, all that. My mother, you know, she loved like some funk, soul type of stuff. You feel me? She put me onto a lot of that.
I can see that, yo. She was
put me
dope.
onto a lot of that. So growing up, you know, like it just kind of followed that line of like, oh, like there's no issue with me being all into hip hop or whatever, because like especially they knew like raising me where I was raised, like it was bound to happen anyway.
For sure.
But,
how about you? Jenna? Was hip hop ever like a deterring thing in your life? Did your parents ever say, nah, you can't listen to hip hop?
I mean, like, I listen to a lot of rap music, and my mom doesn't like that at all. Like,
Okay,
I'll put it on, she'll be like, I'm putting it off.
For
like,
sure.
I don't know. She listens to a lot more, I guess, like, white music. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
no problem with that. No problem with that.
Okay, that's interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
And since hip hop is such an art form, like hip hop got me into listening to my favorite types of music right now, R&B and jazz. You know, I love me some jazz. I could listen to that all day straight. Speaking of like other forms of art, as a graphic designer, like we love rap, and that's made us pursue other things in our life. What got you into graphic design?
I've been drawing, like, my whole life. But I never really thought I could, like, make it into something I do for the rest of my life.
For sure.
Because everybody was like, you'd be a starving artist, you wouldn't make any money, you'd be hungry on the streets, like, and I don't know, even in high school, my teachers were like, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should just go into, like, a STEM field, and so I was thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't.
Okay.
And then I started looking at schools, and I saw FIT, and I saw all the options that I actually did have. I didn't even really know graphic design was a thing.
Yeah.
Until, like, somebody told me about it.
For sure.
And so I was like, oh, I can do this and make a living from it and enjoy myself and not hate my job.
Okay.
So,
I feel you.
Now
I feel
you
you.
start
Yeah.
artists,
yeah, so, like, now I'm really, like, doing what I love.
Okay, that's dope.
So,
That's
yeah,
really
it's
dope.
cool.
So I was gonna ask you. Me personally, I love art too. I love painting. I love drawing. It's cathartic for me. So I'd just like to ask you, what is your magnum opus so far? What do you feel is your favorite work of art that you've made?
I don't know. I make a lot of art because I feel like it's very therapeutic to me.
She's made our logo.
Yeah, I make
Yeah,
the
that's
logo.
Shout out. Thank you.
There was this really cool one I did, and it was like neon painting I did, and it was this guy I made up, and he was like, he had these glasses on, he had a fro, like he looked really cool.
Okay.
I
Is it
also
on your
made-
Instagram?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
it's on my
you guys
art
could
page.
check it out. What's your Instagram again? Let them know.
_ Jenna the creator.
Bam,
Yeah.
you already know what it is. But carry on.
I also made a skeleton smoking a joint. like that's cool
Show him
too.
the shirt. Show him the shirt, Andrew.
Yo, don't panic. It's organic. You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
Yeah.
That's
So,
fine.
what would you say your favorite medium is?
I do for school a lot of digital art, but
Yeah.
recently I've definitely been getting into painting
Okay.
because I feel like it, like again, it's very like therapeutic.
I actually, the one thing I can say is, so I like to do a lot of art on Photoshop too. You know, the brush tools. There's so much. It just with the fact that it is digital, it gives you so much tools. Like, you don't need to be mixing. You don't need a whole palette, whatever. It's all right there at the touch of your fingertips. But you know, would you say? Because at least I hold the opinion that you can't, like, even though it's fun and it's really convenient, just the feeling of, having a canvas, putting it on an easel, and just physically painting, it feels a lot more, like you said, just therapeutic. It feels a lot more, just natural, better. You feel me? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, because I do a lot of work on Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, and even if you're doing work and you forget to save, your computer crashes, like, it's gone. You have to redo it.
Yeah.
But in person, like, when you have a canvas in front of you, you're actually doing it. Like, there's no crashing the canvas. Like, like, and that's cool. But yeah, like, you can even do prints of digital art, but I feel like when you spend so much time and you just have it in front of you, it's more real.
And just being able to feel it too.
Yeah.
Just feeling like the pain.
Bumps.
It's like, oh my God. It's like Braille, yo. It's
Braille.
I'm feeling it. Like, I'm feeling it for real.
Something deeper here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually pretty dope. That's really dope, actually.
That's even why, actually, like, if you ever, people like to talk about modern art, and just, they'll see, like, a blank, they'll see just an entirely white canvas, and it's like, yo, why is this white canvas so expensive? Why is this on a wall? Well, it's because it's beyond just the color itself and what you see. It's the textures, the feel of it. You look at it, there's more to it than just, like, the colors. And I feel like people nowadays are so ignorant to art. When you look back in the day, and that's why I love history so much, because you are free from, when you look at history, you are free from whatever's holding you down in the present.
Okay.
And you get to see the best, or, whatever's presented as the best of the time.
Yeah.
And just, you look at the Enlightenment and just what everyone was doing with art, and how they revolutionized the medium and just what they were doing. It was crazy.
For sure. I believe that. Oh, okay. That's really interesting. Have you met people who was like straight into art, always in their work, and just always be painting in their rooms, never leaving?
Definitely, a lot of people are very into their work. Like, I know a bunch of people in interior design, always doing work. Okay. They have to make models. They have to do stuff on the computer. But yeah, like, going back to what you said, though, like, I feel like there's an artist, Mark Rothko, and he would just do different colored big lines on a canvas. Yeah. And again, people are like, why is that art? But he was the first to do it. I feel like even fashion majors, like plaid, it's nothing to them because it's plaid. You see it on everything. Yeah. But like, when you go back and study history about it, like, somebody made that. Somebody had to make the design in order for it to be mass produced. Okay. So I feel like once you know the history and you're creating and working, you have more of an appreciation.
It goes back to the how to steal art type of argument, Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, you know what? You look at something, you take inspiration from it, and like pretend to do it, and then make it your own. That's really interesting.
Nothing is original at this point. It's the year we are entering, the futuristic year of 2020. We as humans, modern humans, we've been around since what? 13, whatever.
A whole bunch of years.
A lot.
Yo, there's nothing. Yo, you ever read the Bible? Nothing new under the sun, fam. Nothing new.
Nah, okay. That leads me to another question then. What do you think right now is the most original mass-produced item? Or not even mass-produced, just produced item around in this time
Sex
right now?
robot.
Really?
First, they ain't have no sex robots back in the day.
Nah, but they had the idea and they were trying to make it way before. Do you think that's... Everyone was trying to do it.
You seen what they got nowadays?
Bro, they be doing backflips and shit.
I mean, it evolved from sex dolls.
That's true.
So it's just people putting like their own twists on something that previously existed.
Yeah, there's nothing really new nowadays, but there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of building on what has come before. But I mean, that in itself is art. Like, once you realize and recognize that, like sometimes, with me being a creator, trying to, produce YouTube videos and radio shows and even make music, being a rapper. Sometimes I gotta humble myself because I think something's really dope. I think something's really fire. But then I remember, not only has someone thought about this, not only has someone else made this, but there's a pretty decent chance that they might have even made it better. But once you recognize that and you realize that just allows you to push yourself to make it an even better product than you originally had in mind.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's interesting. Okay. I see exactly what you're saying. I didn't know what to say that. You said it so pristinely.
Thank you, gifted Gav.
Oh, gifted Gav. Babble. Tower of Babel. And yeah, nothing. The Bible, especially how you mentioned, like everything in it, that's probably taken from. This is word of mouth. So whatever is even written in those, even the stories that are written, probably not the exact wording and how they were
the
actually.
earliest books were made way after my man died, yo. And even like, what's crazy about the Bible? Yo, I'm about to open your third eye, God, to calcify your pineal gland. When you look at the Bible, you like once you look at it, yo, there's so many versions, there's so many different iterations of this. You need to think about everything that's been redacted. Because there have been so many books, so many chapters, verses, proverbs, everything that were written, especially by people deemed credible by the church, but were just kept out because they felt it didn't fit the narrative. And it makes you wonder, like, okay, well, like, who gives you this authority over it? And
God, what are you talking about?
Well, exactly, it's the idea is that God, but it's like, yeah, I'm a nut. Like, people they look at me, they don't think I'm like a nerd or whatever, but I love history so much.
Yeah.
So much. And it's like, I feel that just theological history is crazy, especially because we live in America, we live in a Western society. So much of what we do, how we live our lives, and just how we view life itself is based so much on Judeo-Christian values.
It's true.
And you don't even think about it. Even like you, right?
Yeah, what's up?
You are an Indian American man.
That is
not
me.
American Indian. Don't get it twisted. Indian American man.
That's me. What's up?
I am a Filipino American man, and you are a
Italian American.
Italian. Oh my God, yo.
My man, I gotta say, you said open your pineal gland. What were you say?
Open, decalcify your pineal gland.
Oh, okay. Wake you up.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Over time, there's a gland in your brain.
Yeah.
The pineal gland.
Yeah. It secretes sleep hormones, melatonin, and all that.
As you grow up, it calcifies and it hardens.
Nah, I had to search that up. I'm like, is he using that right?
Yo, come on.
Nah, I thought you said pituitary first. I was like, hold up.
Nah,
that makes you
the
grow.
pineal gland. What are you talking about? Yo, I was educated by the Illustrato. You feel me? The 5%ers.
Okay,
all
I see
that.
you.
I be spitting my science how I
see you.
spit it. You dig it? What you talking about?
A big thing on this podcast is us talking about how meeting strangers and talking to strangers, that's really developed who we are as people. He considers himself a social introvert. I consider myself more of a social extrovert, but I do like being introverted sometimes. How is the networking situation at FIT? Is it good, or do people really just stay to themselves and just like focus on their craft?
So, I mean, like 80% of the school is commuter.
Okay.
So it's sometimes a little hard to meet people because a lot of people just come, go to class, and then go home.
Fair enough.
But a lot of times people will have like these 3-hour gaps that we have because all our classes are 3 hours or more. Because a lot of it is studio, and even the business people, they have 3-hour classes. But yeah, so a lot of people do focus, like they go to the library, they go to the workrooms. But I don't know, we have a lot of clubs. Even in class, a lot of people talk to each other. Like, even when I'm painting, I'm, like, having a conversation with people. Like, yeah.
Pass the white paint.
It's good to talk to people, too, because you can see other people's work. And you could talk to them how they can improve their work.
Bounce
and then
off
they could
energies.
tell you how to improve your work. And say, oh, that might look better like this. And you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
I got
It's
you.
like a really good creative space.
Yeah. So it's good to talk to people. Some people stay to themselves, but it's good to talk to other people and get their perspective on things.
Interesting. Going into FIT, like as a high school senior, when you were applying for it, what was going through your head? Like, what were the things that you were like? People were saying this is what happens at FIT, and that wanted you to go there. What are some of the stereotypes that you saw?
Honestly, I visited FIT kind of late in the game, and because I didn't really know where I wanted to go, didn't know what I wanted to do. Because I was still deciding, do I want to do the art thing? So basically, I went on the tour and I just really liked it. I liked all the stuff they had to offer, and
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Were any of the stereotypes broken? Like, this isn't how it really is, or something like that?
yeah, because like I didn't really know much honestly before I went,
Oh,
and
fair
then. Because I had just visited it, and I had to put together this portfolio, and it was kind of crazy. They gave me specific projects I had to do, and like I had to make my own space, like a 3D space. I had to do a self-portrait, and stuff like that.
That must have been a lot of work, huh?
It was a lot, and I had to write like different stuff for the application. But yeah, it's cool because there's a lot. There's a lot of different types of people there because. like the fashion people are very cool. Like they make a lot of really dope things.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't know this, but we have a really like most of the schools are business school.
Okay.
Like advertising and marketing communications, and then fashion business management majors. So a lot of people don't actually create. They just do more of the business side. But again, illustration, graphic design, photography, fashion. There's a lot of stuff.
Okay, a lot of people nowadays, especially with this the hypebeast
Oh my
culture.
god,
and
so
all
many at my school.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think a lot of people ever wear fake stuff, or even let me even change up the question? Do you think a lot of people are spending so much money that they can't really eat, or they're spending money that they really shouldn't be spending on clothes to impress people at the school? Do you think a lot of people doing that?
No, I don't think so. Because I think it's more just. It's not even just expensive stuff that people get. It's more
Like good stuff.
And a lot of people go thrifting, honestly. Like they go and they find good deals. Like they'll find a Burberry shirt and like it'll be priced very low because people don't realize they'll just like put it on the rack and then they'll have a good find. Or even just like regular clothes, like brandless almost. You don't even know the brand. It's more about how you style it. Honestly.
Okay, that was
like a lot of
my
people
question.
do have nice things but it's more about how you style.
Do you ever see a person just like wearing like just a very basic fit, like say like a plain white shirt with just black pants and like some like say Balenciaga shoes is the hypest thing they got on?
Yes.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So
How would you feel the situation is at St. John's in regards to that?
Well, like I said earlier, my man, it's like you could just pull up and just like sweats and shorts and whatever you want to do. Like
Except all of them international kids.
No, bro, they crazy. They be smoking outside in these like
Yes.
Balenciagas and all these.
Yo, every time it's like you can look at a student. You go to St. John's, you can tell who's not from this country. They're smoking the wild bogey. And they got the Supreme
They got the
everything.
fit.
They got it crazy.
They don't be speaking English with you. Like, hey, my man, what was the homework? Oh, no, just walk away. just mumble and walk away. And yeah, that's the big thing I was gonna ask you next. Like, what was the style versus like fashionable clothing line thing? But okay, that makes more sense then. Because like I know I can't be affording like all these shoes. I can barely afford Yeezys. I don't even have Yeezys.
Me neither.
Yeah, you know. So it's like that's crazy.
That's what gets me so. Like that's what when I look at a lot of the people from our generation, it's like you wear all these clothes, you buy all of these accessories, but you yourself, especially because we are so open as a generation about our mental health and what we struggle with. We're so open about that, and there's so many people who struggle internally, but they're out here wearing all the nicest clothes, whatever. When you spending all this money on Balenciagas, why don't you spend some money on a therapist, bro? Like you could be doing so much better. For real, go buy yourself some like Prozac or something. Fam. Like you need to work on your inner self. Cause I know me personally, at least, like I know that like I'm literally wearing. So this is a $20 t-shirt I bought from a thrift. I bought from a flea market. I'm wearing these jeans that I bought 5 years ago for $15, and I'm wearing some beat up Air Force Ones that I got on sale.
We're doing some outfit of the days right now.
I don't have that much source.
I feel you.
But I know me personally, as a person, I have enough swagger that I could walk out wearing this bummy fit.
It's all about personality at the end of the day. It's all about charisma.
I still rock it.
I feel
you. Feel me? But there's so many people where like I see them, they're rocking everything. They're dressed to the 9, fuck that. They're dressed to the 11s, They're wild, crazy. They're flexing OD. But then you try to talk to them like, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's very true.
I'm good. I'm just trying to get class.
Nah, bro. I've never really had like the most fashionable fits. I have always styled my fits in a particular way. I like having like a decent amount of style. I wanted to open up a fashion line. I do want to. It's gonna be more, I guess, like a merch store coming soon. It's gonna be called Tagged. You already know the vibes.
Yo, show them where that come from.
Today is a good day. TIAGD. It's trademarked and everything. You already know I got that. But nah, another thing. Trademarks, Trademarks are big. Everyone be trademarking phrases. Everyone be trademarking words. And they don't even be using it.
Taco Tuesday.
He didn't get that. Trademark. That's crazy. He really tried to do that. He would have taken down so many iCarly episodes, bro.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know how it's
like spaghetti tacos, Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Nah, that's a vibe though. It's like everyone's trying to get it back. Everyone's chasing something. Yeah. But that leads me to another thing. Like right now in the era that we're born in, I was born in '99. Both of y'all were born in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I was talking with you about this earlier, and if we were born 3 years prior, would you prefer that with everything we're in the same personality, same vibe, same environment that we kind of grew up in, just 3 years prior? Would that be more beneficial? Would you say for us making advancements in entertainment or advancements for you in graphic design? What do you guys think about that?
Well, at the very least, superficially, I would solidly make me a 90s baby.
Okay.
So I would let my nuts hang every time on Twitter, talking about all these 2000 babies being garbage.
You're gonna be an old head.
Yeah, for real.
Well, you're gonna be 23.
But it's like, you need to think about being an entertainer and a creator coming up as it is now in 2019, for example.
sure.
If we were doing this 2016, not that much difference time-wise, but just the environment, the space of media and entertainment at the time. And just before cancel culture became as big as it is now, I definitely feel that maybe it would be a little easier. And, there's more space.
I wouldn't say it would be easier. I would say we'd have, we're pushing right now. We're pushing a lot right now. Yeah. But back then, I don't think we'd have to push as much. But as I've been seeing, people like David Dobrik, he was more than 96. He's, utterly successful, and he has talent. He works hard. I've listened to his podcast. I've seen his videos. He works hard. He grinds and makes his stuff. And a lot of these people Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all these guys, they started on Vine when they were 18, 19 years old, and they started 3-4 years ago. Yeah. To see their platform right now is immense.
Oh no, that's one thing I've said before. I talk about with Henry all the time. If we were a couple of years back, the same age right now, oh, bro, I would have been killing Vine. What are you talking about? We would have been killing Vine, bro. For real. If we were, oh my God.
But we got TikTok right now. Might as well use that to our advantage, you think?
It's just you look at all of these celebrities now. I feel just even you look online, just the space of YouTube and, like you said, Vine, that doesn't even exist anymore.
It's dead.
It's dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel just the internet culture as a whole it hasn't changed entirely, but there definitely has been a shift towards a direction, especially nowadays. Now you need to be advertiser friendly. Yeah, that's why I'm allowed 5 cusses every episode. I'm allowed 5 cusses every episode. I'm pretty sure I'm already going through it.
Probably.
But it's you gotta be advertiser friendly. You need to. Because YouTube's going through 3 adpocalypses so far. Jesus, we're putting revelations to sleep.
Fun fact, finance videos, shoot, if we monetized our last video talking about credit cards and stuff, they have the highest ad revenue. But we can't monetize right now. We're not at that point yet. No, but one day, we're going to be building that bag. You already know.
Sooner or later, we're going to have that Patreon.
Oh, shoot,
If you want to support us, if you want to support the boys, hey, Bobby, come on, yo, let me hold $1. Come on. Yo, I just want to buy Amazon. Come on. Yo, swipe me in.
Nah, but at the end of the day, it's all about adaptation, of course. We can't feel sorry. We're not sorry that we were born in the time we were born. We're privileged to be born where the time
we're
we were
lucky
born.
to have been born in general, yo. You know how many sperm came out of my pops' dick? I was the one that fertilized the egg.
I feel you. That's the only race you've ever won, boy.
Yeah. Yo, since we can't monetize right now, I'm getting all of it.
Yeah, that's true. We can't monetize right now.
Yeah. All of it out.
Nah. Shoot, that's crazy, but it's it's all about adaptation at the end of the day. The Viners who were successful on Vine, they've made it onto YouTube, like David Dobrik, Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Even David Dobrik, he wasn't that popular on Vine. He wasn't in his group, he wasn't the most popular, but now he runs that group. He's the most popular. Yeah. He made $9 million last month or 2 months ago. He said that on a video, and that's crazy. A person who just makes videos, and videos are tough to make. We know that firsthand.
Way tougher than people think they are.
Yeah, but it's this guy who just had a camera and just records his everyday life and just specific events. He was able to make $9 million, and he's 23 years in a month, and he is only 23 years old, and that's amazing. That's a dream right there.
Yeah,
that's crazy. If you were making $100,000 per year, it would take you 100 years to make $10 million.
This dude, David Dobrik's net worth is approximately $16 million.
And he lives in a $2 million house.
Wow.
And he has a Ferrari for himself. He got gifted a Lamborghini from EA, which he gave to his friend.
It's in the game.
He's given so many people cars, and he is a person who he's really inspiring in the sense that he's at the top, but he continues to give. Sure, it's he always records it, and people said, "Oh, if you're giving something, you shouldn't record it." Why not? It's like a diary.
You know what? If I definitely understand that argument where it's like it's for attention, whatever. But like you said, even if it is for attention, if it has the opportunity to inspire someone else, then that's lit.
Shoot, people are actually getting gifts at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah.
You know, and these videos is what got him, put him in the position to give the gift.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are like angry about that. What's your opinion on that, Jenna?
I feel like if you're recording all the time, like your life, and you keep going for so many years, like that's just a part of your life, and you're continuing to show people what you do on like the daily, and now the daily is being rich.
For sure.
So like, I don't know. I just like. I feel like it's good though. Like once you get to the top, I feel like a lot of people just stop trying so hard and they just don't know what to do anymore, and they just do whatever, and then it's not even that interesting. But they still get views because they're popular.
Yeah.
Like the Dobre brothers, they're annoying. Like they just do the most random things and just put out a video, and it's not even interesting.
Are those the twins?
Yeah, they just like they'll eat chocolate on camera. Okay. And then that's it.
Fair enough. So yeah, a lot of people are big for random reasons. Maybe they're good looking. Maybe like they have 12-year-old people, like people following them. You know, everyone's entertaining to somebody. You know, we're gonna have a fan base. Yeah. We have a fan base, and slowly that's gonna build. Hopefully, you know, we're gonna be continuing doing this.
It is building.
You already know. So it's like
just like you said. I want to say. It is all about adaptation, and you need to realize that there's nothing under the sun. The creativity is dead, been dead forever.
Wait, were you saying creativity is dead?
Originality.
Oh, there you go.
Originality is dead, but what makes something pop is the creativity. Success isn't accidental. No matter how lucky.
The equation of creativity is hustle and copying
and time. People forget, no matter how creative you are, how smart you think you are, how capable you think you are, if you aren't willing to put in any amount of time, no matter how hard your hustle is, people think it's luck. It's not luck. It's just the moment. It's the time. Like I said, success isn't. No matter who it is, success isn't accidental. Okay. That person did something to get themselves in that position where they are.
For sure.
And it's all about, because all three of us here, we are aspiring to create something.
For sure.
Whatever it is, we are aspiring to create something. And I know there are a lot of people out there, our peers, who are in very similar situations. You need to know, again, like he said, hustle, time, effort, all of that, it's a big equation. It's a very big formula.
It all just comes back to hustle. That's it. Just hustle your way up. We're all college students. Yeah. We all have jobs. We're all trying to create. And it's like, it's tough for us to even record the podcast sometimes and edit it and always put it up on Fridays at 5 p.m. Go check it out. But it's like, we're trying to do our best. We're trying to build. And you know what it is. We're trying to get better and better and better. So before we move on or even end the episode, because it's really hot in here, I want to ask you one thing. Is FIT worth it for all the high school seniors listening?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah?
I love it so much. I've never been in such a cool environment before. Like, everybody's just creating and just building off each other, and it's really, really cool. Like,
even with all the pressures and be like, oh, you got to wear this and all that.
There's a lot of pressure, yes. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but honestly, it's so worth it for me, and I'm doing what I love, so for me, it's just enjoyable, and I get something out of it. Once I have a finished product, I'm like, wow, I did that. Like,
okay. I believe it.
Yeah, and there are the pressures of like dressing nice and whatever, but I mean, who really cares in the end? It's like you're grinding, like you're doing what you have to do, and yeah, I feel like that's all that matters.
How much is FIC?
It's a SUNY, so yeah, I get in-state tuition.
That's crazy. I didn't know
it's literally like $6,000, not including dorming, but it's less than St. Francis Prep. So
that's very
even
true.
With a scholarship,
that's true. Yeah, that's the cool thing about like the university, like St. John's. For me, I think St. John's is worth it. I wanted to go to NYU, but NYU is damn near like $70,000.
That shit is crazy.
So it's like me going to St. John's. I barely pay $500 like a year because financial aid and grants and all that really helps out. So that in the end works out for me, and it went alongside all the dreams and aspirations I have, and I can hustle and continue to strive. And QCC is the same thing for you, right? It's like sure, it's a temporary situation, but it works out with everything that you're doing.
Oh, I love, like, I've had people laugh in my face telling them that I'm proud to go to QCC or I go to community college, but I love it. I love it with a passion, really. It's, you know, it's exactly what I need, exactly what you need for your education. You don't need, at the end of the day, you have a degree, people aren't going to be looking, or even like, let's say for me, right, my plan is to transfer out after my 2 years, after I put my 2 years in. And at the end of the day, when I have my bachelor's, no one's going to be like, oh, you want to Queensboro community?
A degree's a paper. A degree's a degree.
Nothing more than a blue fucking check mark, yo.
Verified.
Nothing more than a verified check mark.
Whatever position you guys are in life, just remember to be proud of where you are, and that confidence is going to build by doing, and whatever you're going to go forward, you will do it. You know, time is the answer to all things, you know, and slowly but surely we're going to be on the top. You already know, all of us in this room are going to be at the top. We're starting off small. We're recording this on an iPhone. We got one microphone for 3 people, but you already know the vibes. You can follow us at Dip and Drew. You can follow me at It's Baldy.
You can follow me at Drew from Queens.
You can follow me at Jenna Delino or _ Jenna the Creator.
Bam.
Check out the art.
You already know the vibe. So guys, thank you very much. Leave some feedback in the comments. Like the videos. Follow us on all social medias. And yeah, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Today is a good day.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh shit.
That's what I like. I like ending like this. Hell yeah. Bam, guys. That was great.
That was actually really
That
good.
was so